Hello, Leo. I am Ulrich, a Lenormand card reader, and now we will do the reading for the month of August 2021 for the sign of Leo. On the table here, you see 9 cards that we will be using for this reading. You can also see 4 objects here on the table, meaning we will do 4 card readings for the sign of Leo for this month. You can find all 4 videos for the sign of Leo on my channel for the month of August. From these 4 objects, you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation or to the card laying. Of course, you can watch all 4 videos that you find on my channel related to the Leo sign. And after you watched all 4, you can then decide what symbol or object is fitting your personal card reading or situation the best. The matches here represent the fire elements. The stone here represents the earth element. The aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. So Leo, here we go for your card reading for August 2021. Hello, Leo, and welcome to the reading for the matches or the fire group for the month of August 2021. So the first card we see here is the book. The book is the Book of Secrets, meaning it can also relate to teaching, to study, that we learn things, that we need to keep secrets, that we are involved in secrets. But in general, it's about learning things. The last card here, we see the letter. The letter represents a document. It's a message, but the message is more substantial, meaning this could be a value document, meaning like a bond or a notarial deed, especially in combination with the book. It's deeds that represent money, things, documents that have a money value, or that have a high value. This is what it means in general. So we go on here. The first card here, as we said earlier, is about secrets. Maybe for now, you are involved in some study, and maybe you need to study hard and you suffer because of this study. Maybe it's hard to study the topic that you do. And what is it's possible also that the study is related to the financial. If the financial, or it's possible that the study is in abroad. It's possible that you study in abroad. If not, maybe you're involved with documents in abroad, and you need to keep quiet about those documents. That is possible also. You have a certain knowledge about some documents about money. That is all possible here. In certain cases, is if you are involved in the industry or in the business of knives, it's possible also that this represents a business related to knives, or even that you're involved in a study related to chemicals also, but then more on explosive. Maybe you're involved in some kind of study with explosives. This study can be in abroad, can be a study about knowledge. Also, this could be about notarial studies or studies about justice. This is possible also, since the book is here and the whip is here. It can represent a lawyer to be. Maybe it's painful for you if you have some secrets. If you have secrets that you need to keep them, it can be hard for me. Maybe you cannot talk about this secret. In some cases, this card represents also adventure and longings. So in some cases, I want to mention this also, but this card also has a sexual component. It's possible also that the study is related to sexual components. This is possible also that you're becoming. This also is mastering. So it's possible that you're in your literally in your master's degree, but this is like you study because you want to become a master in the field that you have chosen, whatever that field may be. It's possible also that you get a conflict with a teacher, or the teacher get a conflict with you, or you get a conflict with each other. Maybe the teacher is a foreigner, maybe that is possible here because the ship is there. Maybe it's a conflict about money. It's all about this. If you're involved in sports, it's possible also that this is because this is a sports combination also. In some cases, it could mean that you take additional products for achieving a higher purpose, a higher level of sports. And the question then is if these products that you take are legal or not. We just leave that in the middle here. But this represents also a high level of hormones. It represents things like EPO and things like that. Sometimes that's why the book is here. We keep secret about that. We keep secrets about that. It's possible, but necessarily. But in general, this this combination means that the student becomes a master. And it's also tough. The study is tough. Then we have, maybe it's possible also here that you're judged harshly, or you judge others harshly, that you make some kind of decision, or you make some kind of conclusion, and the decision, that conclusion applies on you, or you apply that conclusion on others. That is also possible. If you're educating your child, yourself, if you have children, because I see the child here, it's possible also that you're hot housing your child, meaning you give your child education at home to bring it on a higher level. Because you want the child to improve, or maybe it's necessary you educate the child at home for some reason. This is possible also. Or maybe the child is involved in some sports. That is possible here also. This can also point, if you have a relationship, because I see the snake here in the middle. If you're involved in some relationship, this points also to pillow talk. These combinations talk to pillow talk, that we talk about things after sex. So this is possible also. It also points, I mentioned the lawyer already, but also this could mean that it's a study related to Marines, because the ship is here, a study related to the army, because the whip is here, or in some cases, a study related to police, FBI, secret police, because the book is here, secrets. So this is possible also, that maybe that is possible, but that you cannot share all the information that is given to you there, maybe in that academy. Maybe you need to keep some things for yourself, and it cannot be spoken about, because that is part of the study, that you keep some things for yourself. It's possible that this study is in abroad. I mentioned this earlier already. Maybe also I told you about your learning to work with explosives. That is also possible here in the army. That is possible, or in some cases with police. This is possible also for bomb squads or something like that. That you are getting knowledge in that area. This also points to deep insights in the work. You get a lot of knowledge because the ship also has some form of experiencing things on another level also. if that is, I mentioned earlier already, pillow talk. What is also possible here, that people try to blackmail you because you have some information and you need to, you know this information, but you don't want to give it up. Blackmail is possible here also. Sometimes also with the snake here, it points to relationship we cannot get rid of. It's like we are hooked to this relationship. We cannot get rid of. The relationship is like a little bit, how to say this, like the relationship is like an addiction for us. This is possible also. For some reason, you are always attracted back to this relationship. There's a component in that attracts you always. If it's on the physical level, and if you're involved in sports, it could mean to combat sports. This could mean here also combat sports are also involved here because the whip is here. They're the teachers here that we learn a high discipline. We learn some discipline because this is learning the, since we are punished, but it can also learning discipline, that we learn discipline in the military or in the police. Sometimes we learn discipline. This is points to discipline also. Discipline, high educated levels. Sometimes the study will be a little bit narrow, like for you maybe, because it's so disciplined, but maybe all in all, because at the end here you see the document, you see there's a document, an official document involved. So if you're involved in the study, this could lead to a good result. Also, you will study yourself up a lot. Maybe you add some additional knowledge also to the study. Then we have the ship and the whip here also. I already told you. Yeah, naval, I told you already. You're asking also for advice sometimes. That could be done for the teacher. And this is the teacher and the healer also. So you might learn some methods to hurt people, but also to heal them. So it's both here. If you are involved already professionally in military operations, it could also mean this. Military operations in abroad, secret military operations in abroad. This is what this means. All combat, water training, things like that. This tells you also in this case, because the snake is here, you maybe you don't like to hear this, but I'm mentioning it anyway. You need to be careful not to get catched, because the snake is here. If you get catched, maybe there's an angle. So you need to be careful. Make your bet. See that this operation, if that is your field, just see that this operation is safe. In the possibility there is a safety possible, but just see, be wise, because the snake is wise, and be quiet about it. That there's nothing going wrong there, because with the snake one needs to be careful. Maybe the one in charge, if there's a military operation involved, maybe the one in charge is going with you on this operation. Maybe your educator actually is involved in the whole project, because this could be him, the educator is going with you. It's possible also that this is an evaluation for your study that is included. So the moving involves also the degree. That is possible here, that you are evaluated in secret. You're evaluated in secret. And this applies also on study or your profession, whatever your profession is. It points to an evaluation in study. You need to see it in a broader context. Sometimes I narrow things down because there's a lot here, and it's a general laying, but I'm sure you understand. Also, this means there's a strong longing. If you want to journey, there's a strong longing here for a journey. Then we come in the second line. Here we see the tree, the snake, and the stars. The tree is about stability. The snake is about being quiet, and the stars is operating it at night. This is an all over positive card. So this card says yes. So there will be a slow growth, but here we see the snake, and the snake is quiet. There's a triangle. There's if you have your work, you always need to be careful and make sure that there is no third party involved in. If this is in your job, this could be competition. If not, it could actually mean treason, so that you are discovered. So you need to be careful for that. I mentioned that earlier. So this is rooting, but this can point to something. There's a difficulty here with getting on the ground here. This is actually also, it points to the tree of life. There could be some lies involved with getting on the ground here, with getting on the ground in the evening. There could be some stress involved. Since the tree is root, it's also possible that here we want to liberate ourselves here from constraints. If we are locked, it's like we liberate ourselves here from constraints in some way. If this is on a relationship, if you're involved in a relationship, the snake always points to triangle relationship. So that means there is a third party involved in the relationship. The snake is always like that, especially if she's in the middle. So it's the central card. So if you have a relationship and you think this relationship is stable, just be careful that it is. Check out everything. Check out the information, because maybe there's something going on there. Maybe there's something going on in the dark there. I mentioned earlier, here we see again that our work can involve secrets, because the snake keeps quiet. She don't talk about her job. And here we see secret organizations. We see things like secret professions here involved in this. You need to be careful also that you are not the one. I already said the evaluation, but you need to be careful also that you are not actually spied on. So you need to be careful also about this, because this is what we're seeing here also. You need to be careful that everybody is in your work seems what they seem to be if you have a work, because maybe things are not what they seem, because sometimes the snake can take her skin off. So underneath the skin, there can be something else there. If you're involved in healing projects, if you're not feeling well, but I think maybe that's not the case, but if you should be in a project of healing, the end will be good, but you need to make sure that the person where you go to is actually the one where you want to be. This is a person who operates with herbs, with alternative medicine, and just make sure that this person has the right skills. It's better to double check. I'm not saying this is the case, but this is the combination also for this. But since the stars are here, I think it's positive. But anyway, I just want to mention this here. I mentioned this also. This is a person with a hidden agenda in relationship, a person that is clever. This points to intelligence. If you have a lot of stress in the job or something gives you stress, this also points to stomach cramps. I mentioned the water earlier. Also relax yourself, keep quiet time to time. so you don't push too much energy. You need to have also, if you're in a high stress profession or high stressed organizations, try to relax also some part so your body can recover also. This is what it says also. I know you want to set your goal and maybe it's not possible because you're reaching for the stars, but you need to be aware also. Sometimes we need to give our body some rest. It's easier when you're younger, I'm aware of that, but still we need to go a long time with our body. So this is what it says also. If you have some time off from relaxing here and you're relaxing after all this stress, also I see there will be some possible there's some alcohol here involved or substances that make you feel relieved. That is possible also with this combination. The snake and the stars, then this is the boss again that is with you. It's also this is a person with a lot of experience. If you're in more alternative professions and you learn something, this person is already more matured, more experienced. He's already he's smart in the esoteric field or the field of the stars. If your study is related to astronomy, for instance, this person is experienced because the stars are here and the book is there. This is possible also. But I said, make sure that everything is or that everything is okay. Double check the fine print. Make sure that these people are honest, that they are correct with you, especially with the snake in the middle. Then we have the mountain here. The mountain represents the internet, abroad, difficulties. If this is related to a new project that you have, this new project could be related to abroad because the child it brings something new you want to start. Maybe the project comes off a little bit slow off the ground in the beginning, but here there's an official document, so it will go through and you have the stars here and the ship, so the product will the project will end in a positive way. I already mentioned it. If you make your bet and you are careful, this will lead to an official document, maybe officially approved by the government. So this is an official document that you see here, but we have the snake in the middle. So you will need to keep your focus. You will need to keep focused and you will need to see that everything is safe and everything is very organized. You need to keep quiet and make sure that everything is okay here. No, if it's also possible that sometimes there is a contact problem here. If you are depending on connections, internet connections, it's possible that the internet connections sometimes are interrupted. In the field that you are going, maybe the thing that you're trying to do, you're a little bit experienced in that field. There might be some slow problems, things that you did not experience before. We already saw the student there. It comes back here, the student. Just see also what you say, what you talk about. Maybe it's good also, sometimes I mentioned that earlier, not to talk about everything here. It's best to act wisely and quietly. Don't have too much confidence because the child has confidence. It's harmless. It's new in the situation. It is naive. So just be careful what you say in certain situation because the snake is quiet. So you will, but I think you will use your wisdom here to get where you want to be. Maybe there is possibility here also for asking advice to a mentor or something like that. Then here we go on the crossroads. Here we see the book, the tree, and the mountain. This is actually this is an exam, a health exam. This can be a health exam. Maybe that's part of the study that you're doing. Maybe you are the one yourself who examines something, but here this points to an exam. This it points to a deeper study, a study that actually goes to the roots. And this is in abroad again. We already saw mostly things come back in a card laying. So we have that here again. The study is solid. It will come down to earth. You will see the truths again. So this is what it says here also. And here we have abroad again. We already had that. Maybe sometimes you're a little bit hesitant. We already saw that earlier also. It's possible also that you come into some resistance. Somebody is trying to hold you back for something, for some in some areas. But you keep hope, you keep hopes, you keep on growing, you keep hopes. And there's a valuable lesson in this whole thing also. Physically, it could also mean that you literally learn how to climb mountains. If not, it's again on the physical level, but we also saw the efforts there already from the study. It's possible that you need to go around physically to an object because the snake goes around and the object here is a mountain. We cannot just jump over the mountain. So maybe we need to use our witness for going around the difficulties, for going around the mountain. So that is possible here also. And it might be the first time that we are confronted that we actually need to go around the object. It's like we have to do a bypass here. Rethinking your strategy here. Saving your energy also in some areas, conserving your energy. Maybe at some point you need to keep quiet here and save your energy. And abroad again, we already saw that. Then we have the whip, the snake and the child. It's possible also at some time you need to do a lot of efforts. It's possible also sometimes you get angry. With the snake, I would not do so. I would keep control. Don't get angry, keep control if it's possible to do so. Even if you come in painful situations, keep quiet, keep your cool. Don't get provoked. Maybe it's the best thing to do now for keeping your cool, keeping your control, especially if you want the documents. There's possibly also some pain involved, mental pain, physical pain is possible, but not necessarily something experiencing for the first time. That there is pain infliction here, but you will be smart about it, or you need to be smart about it. You need to be diplomatic. Even if they criticize you, you need to be wise, because the criticism can also be a form of provocation. So be smart about it, even if that is the case, even if it leads to some forms that cross borders. Be wise. It can all be a test. It can all be a test. In some cases also, if this is a law study, it means that you have very high skills, natural skills for debating. This is what it means also. If you need to debate in your job, maybe it's the first time you need to debate, but your skills, it's like you have natural skills here for debating if you are in that kind of profession, natural skills here. You're easy to get your way out of a communicative situation. You are like, you have very great, because the snake can go around, as I said. You can use your tongue for go around and achieve your goal and achieve, if this is a court case, it's possible also that you win the case like that, if you're smart, if you're tricky, because the stars is yes. It's also possible, I'm going to mention this also, then back on the front of the love or the love front or the relationship front. It's possible also here that we are encountered here with a person for the first time in some areas. So we meet a person new for the first time. Maybe we meet a woman for the first time. Maybe this person is very well educated. Also, this is a seductive person, but it can be a man also. This is a seductive person, a person who's smart, educated, a lot of experience here. And also this person is very good in using her tongue if you're involved in the lawyer. So maybe you both are. Maybe it's a meeting in abroad and you both are in that kind of profession, but this person knows how to speak very well and it's based on knowledge. She knows what she's talking about. Or maybe it's you know what you're talking about, because this can also represent the deeper seeking for justice and for getting the right verdict. This is can what it mean also here. It's possible also you get a dispute with a woman or a dispute with a boss. We saw that earlier there also. But there are a lot of skills here, the debating skills. Yeah, innocence in the job here. So I already mentioned that before. It's possible that you get confronted with it. I mentioned that already before, but it's here again. You are confronted with the first time with a situation. Maybe it's in the law, maybe it's in your profession. You're for the first time confronted with certain situations. If you're planning to have sexual activity, maybe this is possible the first time sexual activity also, because this is an energetic card and this is the woman. So it's possible also that it's possible here that there are new experience in that area. Then the ship and the ship and the stars here. If there's some forms of entertainment going on here, this could represent that you have fun near the water or fun on a boat, literally. If you're planning to make some fun and you have some days off, this could literally be the disco on the water because the stars are here. If you make a journey, the journey will, if you are planning on a vacation, this will mean by the end of the month is that the journey will be very nice. And this could be also the ticket for the journey, because the brief, as I told earlier, this is a document that has value. So this could be the ticket for the journey. Can also be the ticket for your liftoff, as we saw earlier, for your study, for getting involved in some kind of profession. Yeah. Then we go on the cross here, the book, the snake and the letter. This is the academy again, focused. I'm here again, studying. We already mentioned this. Some detours here going around. I mentioned that earlier also. Documents concerning your career. This can literally mean a resume here. If you go into negotiations, I didn't mention that one. It's possible this is a negotiation for a job and you need to play the game smart. You need to remember everything I said earlier. If you have negotiations about the job, there will be tests. and you will not see the tests coming. So you need to be prepared for tests that you don't see coming. This is what, because it can lead to a document. So here also, you need to be careful about that, because this can literally mean interviews, job interviews. Then we go there, the ship, the snake, and the mountain. Where are we here? Ship, snake, see. If you're involved in a relationship and one of the both partners is in abroad, sometimes this can also give some form of jealousy. Maybe one of the two partners is jealousy, because this can also mean jealousy. The snake can be jealous. If you sign documents, also additional, if you sign documents in abroad, be careful that the documents are solid. Read the fine print. Read the fine print, because we saw the lawyer earlier. Inform yourself. If you are newly involved with a woman and you met her before, it's also possible that I told you this is longing, that you're longing for a person that stays in abroad. This is what this combination also means. The meeting can be quite turbulent if you actually meet. You can see that in different kinds of angle. There can be turbulence here. The vehicle in question where you travel it, if this is your own vehicle, just check it out before you go. If you go with vehicles like planes, airplanes, it's possible there are some difficulties or some delays with the vehicles that you travel with. This is possible also with this combination. We saw the sexual exploration already earlier, on going on an adventure. I told you here, the triangle, one of both parties will not be willing to commit. So that is here also that we see here. There's a kind of blockage here. I told you with the snake, there's a third party involved, and we cannot move the mountain because the mountain need to go away in time. So we can only go around the mountain. And sometimes when the mountain is gone, the problem is gone also. That is sometimes how it works. So, but all in all, if you are careful, this is a good laying. There's a lot of prospects, a lot of possibilities in this laying. You need to be careful. I gave a lot of information because there's a lot here. So it depends what is your angle, where you are. So I give a lot of general information. So some of it will apply on you or will apply on the fire group. The fire group is an energetic group. So that's why there's a lot of going on here. So Leo, for the fire group, this is all for the month of August for your sign. I hope you enjoyed my card reading. You get a little bit smarter maybe with it. If you enjoyed my card reading, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for doing so, and see you maybe next time. Bye-bye for now.